Everyone, this is Kerry here from Coronation Internet Marketing, and I thought what I would do today is I would go over a method that we use for determining if a site has been hit by a penguin penalty. And this doesn't mean this is the only method or necessarily the best method, but this is a method that we've been using for a long time to figure out if any of the potential leads that we get have had their site hit by the penguin penalty, which was last updated in October of 2014. And you may end up watching this video after the next update, but as of right now, that was the last time it was done. So that's kind of a little intro here, but I'll go on to the next slide, which is one of the first things we do is we take a look at kind of the, I'm going to give you a little bit of info behind the site that came to us. So the lead that came to us was looking to rank for roofing in a major city. I'm not going to give away the business name or the major city because I'm sure you understand that these clients or potential leads wouldn't want their website, out there to everybody that they've been hit by a penguin penalty. And it also protects us that we kind of keep our clients as, private as possible. So a little more info, they have an exact match domain that was similar to, www.roofing-whatever the city is.com. That's not the exact one, but it's a good example. On-site SEO was okay. It wasn't great. The URL had decent age, so it means it was, it was a few years old, and it's an exact match. Of course, the exact match should have helped a lot, but it didn't. Remember, Fletch did a great video about UMAC analysis, in that the URL is a very important factor for good SEO. So shout out to Fletch because I watched this and I thought this is a great way to do some analysis and try to explain to clients and anybody else who comes to us who doesn't necessarily understand SEO. So with a good URL like what they had, I thought, well, they should at least rank in the top 100 for that. So the next thing I did was an anchor analysis. It was the first thing I looked at because I thought this looked a little suspicious that, it possibly didn't rank and they had an exact match URL. And the fact is that it had a decent trust flow to start. I mean, I'm looking at the root domain here, which is a trust flow of 15, citation flow of 13. Of course, you could use other tools for this. This is kind of the one we've been using for the longest time. And when I looked here, first of all, I went, okay, there's 51 external backlinks, 20 referring domains, but in the refresh analysis, but the historic analysis had a lot more. So I thought I'm going to probably get a better picture with historic, but I'm going to take a quick look at the fresh first. So when I look at the anchor text in the fresh index, I went, this doesn't look terrible. So 38% naked URL, 15% somebody just put website. It looked as well, looking at some of the stuff that they were trying to diversify the anchor text after the fact. So 15% naked URL without the HTTP : // They had zinc roofing. 8% was roofing city, which was still probably a little high. Another one is emergency roof repair, and then another one, emergency roof repair source abuse report. I don't know where that came from. Just seemed like a really weird anchor text. Might be somebody that's like a reputation website or a review website, etc. So I looked at that, and that doesn't not really give me a really good picture. So I went over to the historic, and this gave me a much better picture. So here you can see 51% was other anchor text, which I like to see. 11% was naked URL, not bad as well. And then we start getting into the exact matches here. 7% roofing, whatever the city was. 5% roofing companies in the city. 5% homepage. 4% website. These look a little iffy to me because usually those two aren't very high. Again, it looks like somebody's trying to diversify. 4% was city roofing company, 3% website again, 3% city roofing, and 3% web page. When I added up all the anchors that have roofing and city together, it was 19%. To me, this looked really, really high. It was probably another reason why my spidey senses started activating and going, this just looks like it was hit by penguin. So just to give you a little bit further analysis is that I looked at the anchors even more, and I've highlighted the exact match anchors with a red square. And again, way too many links with their niche and city, exact match. So you have like roofing, whatever the city is, roofing companies in whatever the city. I won't go into all of them here, but you get the idea, and you can see that it's really high. Some of them have even deleted, which might help the next time that Penguin refreshes. But right now, Penguin hasn't refreshed for a long time, so they're just not going to rank for these keywords if they are Penguin penalized. And I'll give you more of my conclusion as I go later on here. Again, the one, just way too high. But I looked as well, went, the branding, there's no branding. I don't see any branding in here whatsoever. And the business name is not roofing, whatever the city is. They have a brand, but it's not in there. And you'd think that if you're going to do proper SEO, or if it was a normal website, you'd have a lot of branding. It just wasn't there. So the next thing is that I did a ranking check, and I was using BrightLocal. BrightLocal is one of the tools that we use mostly to do initial checks because it's fairly quick, gives us a good idea of Google Maps. We do use other tools like Source Hunter and SERPbook, but this is just kind of what we use for initial check. It's not necessarily the best, it's just what we use. So feel free to use whatever you want. Site wasn't in the top 100 for anything in Google. Again, I went, doesn't seem like it should be there with the URL that way and some of the anchors that they had. But it was in the top 30 for Bing, and one of them was even on the first page for Bing. So this, again, is another sign or evidence that it's been hit by Penguin. So I'll give you a little bit more interesting tidbit with this site. The title part, which is the M in UMAC, again, Fletch's wonderful way to explain how to do on-site analysis, well, not on-site analysis of any site, had a misspelled word. So when I looked at the title, it said, whatever the business name was, and I'm using Acme as an example, that's not the business name, Rooking. And then you have roofing company, roofer, roofing in whatever the state or province was, depending if you're the United States, Canada, or whatever in the rest of the world. The company they've been doing SEO didn't even have the city in the title. They misspelled roofing and had Rooking. They got carried away with the keyword far too many times in the title. Like, can you say over-optimized to say roofing, which was supposed to be 3 times, even though they spelled it wrong once, and roofer in there too. This is just like way too over-optimized and looks so spammy. Plus, they've been trying to get this site to rank since the last Penguin update in October 2014. Now, if it's Penguin penalized, it's not going to rank unless you get it out of the penalty. And again, there's many ways to get out of the penalty, but, they weren't doing it. So I thought, I wonder if this website would rank for Acme Rooking or branded Rooking. Just for the heck of it, I thought, I'm going to give this a try. So I went over to Google, did a search, and look at this. I did a search for misspelled word plus city and Rooking. So a misspelled word was city plus Rooking. There are 19,100 results. So it wasn't like there was just only 3 results. They were at the top of the first page for their for Rooking, whatever city it is. And obviously what Google's looking at here is that Google looks to see whether roofing or roofer and the city is in the keyword that you're searching for, and saying, you know what, you're not going to be found for this because you are Penguin penalized, you were over optimized, so forget it, you're not going to be found. But they had Rooking in the title, and yeah, they ranked number 1 for that. They even show up in the Google My Business listing in the right sidebar. So this told me as well that they are definitely Penguinized for their city and roofing. So the final slide here is that, can you fix it? Yeah, the answer is yes. You could try to diversify the anchor text or remove the over-optimized links, but you won't know until the next Google Penguin refresh update, and hope that does it. So even if you do all that, you don't know until Google refreshes their Penguin algorithm. So the number of methods that work within a few days. Redirects sometimes work, but we don't use this method. Or another method we use that has worked over and over again for clients that have come to us. It's not the most elegant solution, and some clients may not like it, but it works. Most don't care as long as they start getting leads. They're ranking better, and it works for us. But I'm not going to necessarily let everybody know this because I don't want to go and upset anybody in the group. If they are the moderators and the coaches are welcome, are okay with us doing this in OMG, I'd be happy to share it. But I'll leave that up to them because again, I'm privileged to be a member here of OMG, and I don't want to upset anybody, but I do want to share some of the stuff that I have learned over the years, and hopefully this can help some of you. So if you have any questions about what I put on here, feel free to message me via Facebook, and I'd be happy to answer. And hopefully this helps. All right, thanks very much.